What's up, you guys? My name is Jake, aka the Sciatica Pain Advocate. And the reason why you probably clicked on this video is you're either battling sciatica and looking for guidance, or you're experiencing the symptoms and don't know what sciatica is and still looking for guidance, or you clicked on this video for information about battling sciatica from somebody who's experienced it. I created Sciatica Pain Advocate because I wanted to create a source of reliable information for people who are going through what I went through. When I first started going through this journey, it was extremely challenging for me to find reliable sources of information on the internet. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm not a licensed medical professional. This is all simply things that I went through and information that I gained throughout battling sciatica. I did a lot of time researching when I was in a lot of pain, and when I couldn't go to sleep at night. I was up all night long researching. I'd always find plenty of doctors, specialists, personal trainers, health and fitness coaches, etc., giving exercises or stuff like that to help combat the symptoms, but I never really found any from somebody that actually went through it. So that is why I created the Sciatica Pain Advocate. Battling sciatica, probably one of the worst things I've ever been through in my entire life, and it took nearly everything I had from me. So I understand how isolating it can feel when you're battling this. In this video, we will cover what sciatica is and the symptoms. We'll also cover my MRI and look over my x-ray so that y'all have something to reference. I'm also going to be going over some tips with y'all, and then my 3-step process for overcoming sciatica. To begin, we'll go to Google. What causes sciatica? According to Google, sciatica occurs when the sciatic nerve becomes pinched. The cause is usually a herniated disc in the spine or an overgrowth of bone, sometimes called bone spurs, form on the spinal bones. More rarely, a tumor can pressure on the nerve, or a disease such as diabetes can damage the nerve as well. So symptoms for sciatica: pain in the back area, like in the lower back. You could also be having pain in the buttocks, hip or lower extremities, probably anything from the hips below. You're going to be experiencing pain. Pain types can be mild, severe, radiating, or sharp. The circumstances can be due to an injury or while sitting. You can have difficulty walking or muscle weakness, leg numbness, pins, needles, radiating pain shooting down the legs, burning sensation, foot numbness, or weakness. And unfortunately for myself, I experienced all these symptoms. I have a couple herniated discs in my lower back, and because of sciatica, my entire lifestyle has changed. My life revolves around me battling sciatica on a daily basis. It's not nearly as bad as it was in the past. And there was times my pain would be so bad I would sit there and just bite on my hand just so I could feel something else. I would only sleep while I was on my pain medicine. Sometimes I even fell asleep, like I had an electrotherapy unit, and I would fall asleep with the electrotherapy unit on me, which I don't advise. You're not supposed to do that. But when you're in a lot of pain, you're desperate to figure out a way to get out of it, and that's where I was at. So that's what sciatica is. Those are the symptoms. Now let's go ahead and take a look at my MRI and my x-ray. First, I'll show you the x-ray. So if you see here, like these top 1, 2, 3, 4 discs. Okay, so if it's white, it's healthy, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these that are healthy, and then you see these 2 right down here are black. Those are dehydrated. If I'm not mistaken, I think those are herniated discs. So if we go to my report, and yours will probably look something similar to this, but if you see here, L1, L2, L2, L3, normal disc height, L3 to L4, blah, blah, blah. Broad herniated disc margins narrow the right lateral recess. So I'm producing right descending L4 nerve root impingement. L4 to L5, a large central through right, whatever that word is, 11 millimeter AP by 2 centimeters transverse, blah, blah, blah. Disc herniation, disc extrusion produces spinal stenosis. So that's one thing I'd like to cover too. When I first went to go get diagnosed, my doctor told me that I had spinal stenosis. So the reason why I didn't even know that I was battling sciatica is because I thought I was battling spinal stenosis. So I would constantly look up exercises and things to do to combat spinal stenosis. I can't say it misled me, but I just wasn't aware 100% of exactly what was going on with my body when I first went through this. So going down farther here, yeah, L5 to S1, slightly transitional, morphology of the disc. Protrusion produces light contact with this S1 nerve root. So this is what I had going on, right? And when I first went through this, I didn't know what any of this meant at all. I was desperate to get out of pain. Before this, leading up to properly getting diagnosed, I would constantly go to a chiropractor to get treated. And the reason why I kept going back to a chiropractor was because the first time I ever went to a chiropractor, I experienced relief. Like I experienced immediate relief right after. And I was like, oh my goodness, like that's what I need. I need to go see a chiropractor. Like I see a chiropractor and I get relief. I feel better. What led me into getting properly diagnosed is my last visit with the chiropractor. I was in there. I was experiencing all the symptoms on one side of my body. And a lot of you are probably experiencing the same thing. But after my chiropractor did an adjustment on me, all the pain went from one side of my body to the other side of my body. And I remember calling her. I was like bawling my eyes out. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's. She's like, I think you need to go get an x-ray and MRI. She said, it sounds like you have a herniated disc or a slipped disc is what she told me. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I don't know what the hell that is. I was in so much pain. I just told the doctor, I was like, what do I got to do to not be in pain, doc? And he said, well, you can try a steroid injection and follow it up with some physical therapy. And when I finally got to the physical therapy that they were offering me, I didn't feel like neither the doctor or their physical therapist were taking my situation as serious as it should have been taken. And I say that because of what I know now. And I'm thinking to myself, if I know what I know now and they have a degree and they have a license and they're supposed to be a professional in this, why are they holding information out on me? Like that's what it feels like. So within a couple weeks after getting my steroid injection, I finally start physical therapy and I go back to work. Within my first week of being back to work, I go to pick up something way too heavy and boom, all the pain is right back. It was very frustrating for me because I was missing out on work and I'm now doing their in-house physical therapy, which is terrible, which sucks. I'm experiencing the most littlest amount of relief, enough to for me to buy into, this is working, right? So I go back to the same doctor that gave me the steroid injection. He's like, well, we can try another round of steroid injections and see where that takes you, but you need to really take your exercises seriously. And within a month, again, boom, all the pain's back. And he's like, you can only do 2 years. And if that doesn't work, then come back in, we'll discuss surgery. If you're battling sciatica, what you need to do is you need to build muscle. You need to build muscle in your lower back. You need to build muscle in your legs. You need to build muscle in your core in order for you to stabilize those discs and those nerves so that they can have some room to breathe and so that you can have mobility and be able to move around and do, the things you want to do and live a normal life. You need to find a way to do that without aggravating that nerve, without irritating that nerve. And there's a way to doing that, okay? Which is leading me into the first tip that I want to give y'all is that as much as I would love to be able to point a finger to somebody else for my health, at the end of the day, my health is my responsibility. So that's my first tip, is that your health is your responsibility. You have to, if you're waking up in pain or if you're waking up hurt, I understand, there's probably some people that might be listening to this where it's out of their control, where they maybe got in a car accident or something happened, right? And you're in pain, right? But for the most part, I have herniated discs because I was lifting very heavy stuff. I've worked in physically demanding environments my entire life. So your health is your responsibility. Most of the time, you're where you're at because you put yourself there. It's your responsibility to build muscle and to take care of this situation, okay? The human body is capable of doing that. Which leads me into my second tip, is that your body is constantly trying to heal itself, but it's up to you to guide your body during that healing process, okay? So you have to wake up and physically put the work in so that it can heal itself naturally, so it can heal itself properly, okay? Something that convinced me to not follow through with surgery is my personal trainer told me, he said, it doesn't matter if you go get surgery or not, you're still gonna have to put in this work. You're still gonna have to do the physical therapy, you're still gonna have to do the exercises, and you're still gonna have to do the stretches. Because once they cut you open, there's no undoing that. And when they cut you open, they gotta cut through muscle. So you're almost in a worse condition than you were before the surgery, because now you're working with muscle that's been traumatized, okay? So that's just something to take into consideration if you're thinking about surgery. My next tip is, throughout this journey, there's gonna be a lot of trial and error. Things that worked for me then, they don't work for me now, and things that I do now did not work for me then. For instance, leg extensions. When I go to the gym now, I burn out on a leg extension machine. But if I did leg extensions while I was experiencing a flare-up, I was out for the next 2 weeks trying to figure out how to walk again. Okay. So that leads me into the 3 steps that I want to give y'all. I've came to the conclusion that there are 3 steps to overcoming sciatica. The first one is going to be to find comfort. So whatever that is, like your stretches, your small movements, becoming aware of how your body's moving, right? Whatever's going to find you comfort. Okay. The first key is to find comfort. And after that, once you find comfort, you need to start branching out and digging a little bit deeper into your physical therapy and your exercises, into building muscle. Okay. And then once you start building muscle, you need to maintain that, and you need to maintain that growth as well. The antidote to this, everything that you're going through, is building muscle. And I don't care what age you are, you can still do these exercises. You can still get up on a daily basis and work out and exercise and take care of yourself. Okay. So the third step, maintain. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was very helpful for you. Hope that I gave you some good information from somebody who's been through this experience. If you're battling sciatica, if you're battling the symptoms from sciatica, I know that it can be a very overwhelming process. The sooner you take responsibility for your health, the sooner you'll get through it. You just got to keep at it every single day. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk at you next time. Oh, and if leave a comment anything. Let me know what you think about this information. Let me know, how this might have helped you at all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch y'all next time.